this a screenshot interview. It's basically just an array of images that we have scoured the internet for of either the both of you or you guys individually. And we're going to go through each image, get your reactions.
Can I just ask before we start, are these family-friendly images, or are any of these
they are.
Yes.
frontal nudity?
No, they are not.
Rob
we can promise you that.
Rob had a very long career in the art world.
I used to do a lot of nude modeling. It's all tasteful, but I just want to be prepared.
That's
well,
actually
you
the
always
whole
said
slideshow.
it was. You always called it taintful. Because it was only taint-related, but beautiful pictures.
Are we allowed to say that on this channel?
No,
I'm not sure if we're allowed
that's class. And yes, you are allowed to say that.
Okay, good.
That is class. Absolute class, Rob.
Oh my goodness.
All right, we're ready to we'll take a look at these pictures, and you just want us to tell you what the story was behind it?
Yeah, we'll ask you some questions about them,
and
but
just kind of explaining. It's a very random assortment, so
these could be bad. These
keep you
could
on
be
your
very
toes.
bad for us.
I'm glad that you guys are already apprehensive. That's how we like her.
Yeah,
like our guests to be on the edge a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. If there are any stories too that you want to tell based off it, absolutely go off.
So
we're gonna
basically, you'll ask us if that's us in the picture. We'll give you a yes or no answer. And we'll move on to the next picture. Got it.
Yes, exactly. All of them don't have faces in them. It's all body.
Everything's blurred.
Got it.
Cool. All right. Here we go. So first photo is the two of you. Actually, we got right here
with the horse.
Yeah. Well, oh boy, that's an incriminating photo. Obviously, Paul and I look great, but then there's this third person or a horse who is. I mean, this is sort of a complicated story. Paul, do you want to tell it?
Yeah. Rob and I got our start interviewing celebrity animals, and it was a very popular show. Not that humans would never got to see it. This is obviously just for the animal community, and so this is one of our biggest guests. This is actually the grandson of Mr. Ed, who came on after he released a shocking tell-all book about the ways that they got his grandfather to talk on that show. And it was shocking, and
when we worked for
hard-hitting interviews. Yeah.
When we worked for Horse TV, we were told it was that Horse TV was television for horses by horses. It's all horses, 24 hours a day.
So you guys were kind of the minority in that picture then.
That's right. We were the first humans allowed. And working with this guy, I tell you, actually very difficult. You can see that we're going over notes there and trying to make suggestions, and this guy was just not having it at all.
Yeah, not at all.
Wow. My big question is, in that whole studio, did you get to meet the big wigs? Like, did you get to meet Seabiscuit? Or Warhorse or anybody like that around?
They were always watching from their stables, you know, and so they had monitors piped in. But they didn't like us to associate with the horses after the cameras stopped. You know, it's sort of like one of those things where the horse they put blinders on us actually and get us in and out. So we never even knew where the studio was.
I also would like to draw attention to our matching black turtlenecks, which is a look that we don't often do, but when we pull that out, you know it's a special occasion. So
absolutely, yeah. Wow. We love a
pretty good look.
Yeah, I love that look. I'd also love to hear more about what he disclosed about how they made Mr. Ed talk, at a later date. I don't know if you're allowed to share.
Carrots in inappropriate places.
Yeah, a lot of carrots in a lot of inappropriate places.
Makes total sense.
Yeah.
Oh, good. I love that. That's wonderful.
What do we have next?
We can go to the next image right here. So this is of you, Paul, right over here.
Yes.
I've never seen that.
That's me during the pandemic. It was rough. I was trying to do my best. That was my first Zoom call after about 6 months into the pandemic there. So that was, for me, I felt like I was looking good, but now looking back on it, I'm kind of like, maybe.
You're really looking great, actually.
Yeah, I shouldn't have put that all together like that. But, look, I stand by it. I think that the orange shirt makes me look like I was in a prison jungle.
That's what I thought. Exactly. It's not in prison.
It is not in prison. This is from the league. This is from the league, and I lost a bet on the show, and it was the opening of one of the seasons. And my character was revealed that I wasn't able to cut my hair since the Super Bowl or since our fantasy football season was over. So I come back like this, and it's very easy to put a bald wig on a haired man. It's harder to put a hair like this, like to make me look like this was so incredibly complicated to get hair to sit around the rim like this. It just is not. I remember just as a performer, like you're always putting yourself in these horrible situations, and this was the most uncomfortable because the beard is fake, the hair is fake.
Oh, it's all fake.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you didn't even have to
glue.
grow any of this yourself. It's
That's
all
the
like
itchiest.
no.
That is the itchiest look I bet
Yeah.
you've ever
Very
put on.
It was the only person who had it worse on that show, and I had it definitely terrible on the league, was a little kid. And the little kid on the show, like he had a thing where he was growing too much hair, or he like used somebody's Rogaine or something happened. And so he had a similar situation like this, but he was 6 years old and he had to be playing in a little league game. And he was so upset and uncomfortable. I remember like being there on that day, just seeing him like complain because he's like, he has all this fake hair there under the hot sun, and all the other kids are playing, and he had to stand still with his like arms out as like giant hairy pits are just out there. So yeah, it's not fun. It's fun on paper, terrible in real life.
wow.
Oh, that is great.
Amazing. We can head into the next one then.
this next photo.
Off that. Let's see. Did I click it correctly? Did I do it?
By the way, we're
let's
gonna steal this game from you guys and start doing it on
Yeah.
our Twitch.
Oh
show
yeah,
for sure.
please.
Please
have
go
fun
ahead.
with it.
Exactly.
Go right ahead.
This is
Oh, man.
one of my personal
This-
favorites. How'd you get up there?
Well,
That looks real.
yeah, that is. Well, this is a tricky thing. I don't talk about it much.
Mhm.
Oh no.
But
Oh
because
boy.
we are
Mhm.
on
Really hit a
Rolling
nerve.
Stone's Twitch.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Here we go.
So
You're bending to
Back
our
in 19
journalistic will and
Mhm.
giving us
yeah,
the
back in
information we want.
1927, I made a deal with a warlock, a witch, whatever you want to call it. Different strokes for different folks, to give me a mortal eternal life. And so I was an actor, as I am now, but in the 1920s, and I was in the original King Kong. So a lot of people
Whoa.
don't know this. I try to change my name and try to keep it undercover. Obviously, you found that I was in King Kong.
That's what we do.
Are you
Yeah.
in the one? Are you in the one that just came out? The
Yeah.
new one,
Oh,
King
no,
Kong
that one's
Godzilla.
Are you
sacrilege. That
Godzilla?
one is sacrilege. I don't buy into that.
Oh,
you're not
that
in that.
world.
Oh.
That's like the Snyder
Just the
cut of King
original.
Kong movies. The only one is the original one. That's what I only ascribe to that. And we did shoot it on the top of the Empire State Building. You can see there.
Wow.
That's a
Wow.
plane. Yeah,
well, Paul,
and,
you used to be a lot bigger. Is it that, or did
Yeah,
Yeah.
by
Yeah.
the scale of
Yeah.
this
I
is
know. You're
confusing.
like half
'cause
his
you're-
size.
you
Yeah,
start
that's why
working
they sent
out or
me up
something?
there. That's what they say. Yeah, that's why they sent me up there. No, again, I told you I don't like to talk about this often, but it's this deal with the Svengali wizard, warlock, whatever you'd like to call it, allows me to have certain powers that I can use. Again, these pictures aren't. I'm surprised you guys were able to find this. Normally, when people
Yeah.
see a picture like this, I am invisible to them. It's kind of like a vampire thing. It's a way that like
Interesting.
this wizard is like cursed all the books and pictures
Mhm,
of the past. But I
That's
guess it's
interesting.
look through. Yeah. So
Yeah, you know what we actually did? We pulled it up on a computer and put it in front of a mirror, and then we were able to screenshot it that
okay,
way.
that is-
so
Oh,
Oh,
that's
that makes
probably how it
sense. That
happened.
checks out.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
science.
Mhm. But anyways, we'll go to the next one, which is a little similar to this one.
I'm assuming similar
These
situation
are
here.
a lot of me. You have any?
These are a lot of Paul.
Oh,
Yeah,
don't worry,
Yeah.
Rob's
Oh, yeah,
coming
we
up.
have-
We
we
got
have-
Rob.
Oh,
All right.
Oh boy.
Exactly.
Well, this one's is simple. I mean, this is a, I have a long-standing beef with, Steven Spielberg because
Everyone knows about that. Everyone
yeah,
knows.
everyone knows. And I originally made E.T. back in 1978. Again, working actor, and I thought it was going to be a great film. And Steven Spielberg made his E.T. His is one that people remember, but I did make it a long time before that, and I worked with Melissa Matheson, who actually wrote the original script. But yeah, it's actually a sore subject. I don't want to talk about this. I don't want to talk
Yeah.
about
Of
it.
course.
I
Yeah,
have
no,
a
I
better
completely
version of
understand.
E.T.
I can
It
tell you're
is-
upset. You do seem
Yeah,
upset
yeah,
about
yeah,
this.
Yeah.
it's like I don't. This is something that, and you can get it. You can definitely get it from my website, the original version of ET with me as ET, and it was called PS originally, and then they changed to ET. And then,
Mhm,
it's a
mhm.
whole big thing. But anyway, yeah. So there. You
Yeah,
You
I'm
hit a
sorry.
nerve with this
Sorry to
one.
even bring it up.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Yeah.
apologies. Well, we'll turn it on Rob a little bit
Exactly.
right now. So,
Oh boy.
Switch things
Oh
up a bit.
All
boy.
worked out.
Oh boy.
found this
Okay.
on a little app called Twitter.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mhm.
Going on here.
Well, everybody knows I'm a huge Mike Pence fan.
Uh-huh.
Huge fan of Mike
Vegas.
Pence.
Of course.
But I was a little bit. This is also during the pandemic, and I think it was when Mike Pence had COVID, and I was worried that it was going to come through the TV screen and try to get me. So you can't really tell, but I'm holding a sheet of plexiglass in front
That'll
of
do
me.
it.
Yeah, to protect myself, just another layer of protection, so that.
But it seems like the TV is behind you.
It does seem like that, but that's because I'm holding the plexiglass in front. Yeah, it's actually a reflection.
This is also a mirror
Oh.
image, like kind of like what
Wow.
we did. Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Interesting. Look
So
at
that
science.
is a reflection of what I was watching on TV.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
Ah.
but I can see why that's confusing. But and also, this was right after my audition for the Mike Pence story, which is a Lifetime movie that's coming out. It's Mike Pence, Dirty Little Boy. It's coming on Lifetime, and I auditioned for the part of Mike Pence, but I didn't get it. So,
Dang.
but anyway, but you can see how I did sort of look like
You
him.
do
You know, I
feel
got
like
Mike
him,
Pence
yeah.
haircut. Yeah, and I wasn't wearing a matching suit or anything like that. That probably would have helped my audition. But
Did you also
but yeah,
try to
huge
audition?
Mike Pence fan.
Did you
Huge
also
Mike
try
Pence
to?
fan.
Did you also try to audition as the little fly that went on his head as well? Did they have a part for that?
I did. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
very
yeah.
nice. Very nice.
That's the
Yeah.
little
Wow.
boy.
Yeah, man. I'm a huge Mike Pence fan. Everybody knows that about me. Ever since he left office, I've just been so bummed out. He's just such a cool guy.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
You
That's
wanna
what I
get him
hear.
Back in. You want to get him back in, yeah.
Yeah, he's the best.
Cool. Next slide over here. This one is very specific because okay, Paul. This is actually the first place I've ever seen you act in. For
really?
me, yeah, first thing I've ever seen
Yes.
you in. The Onion movie. It was from like 2008.
Yes.
I
Yeah, the
believe.
Onion movie. What was it? 2008? My gosh, I thought it was way earlier than that.
It was
because
like
we were
2007, 2008, something around.
I feel like
there.
that
Oh,
was
you
one
know
of those
what?
things they shot like a long
Yes.
time ago, and then it took like 5 years to come out.
Yeah, there were a
You're
lot of different
totally right.
sketches. Mhm.
Yeah, because basically, yeah, Rob is totally right about that. Because I was shooting. This is like one of the first things I ever shot, but 2008, Human Giant had already been on the air for a while. So like, I'm like, oh, but yeah, it didn't come out. So much so that the majority, like the big runner of this movie, was like sketches about a Britney Spears-esque character.
Yes, that's
which
right.
is now obviously relevant again. But in that point, when it came out in 2008, it was like it already had kind of passed, like it went by. But the Onion movie was a really funny on paper sketch comedy movie in the vein of like the Groove Tube or Kentucky Fried Movie or Amazon Women on the Moon.
Yeah.
And so I was this computer sales guy. It was the first movie I ever worked on, selling this computer. So basically, this guy buys a computer, he walks out, and then the next day there's like a brand new version of the computer that he just bought. And then it's like 3 beats of that. But the funny thing about this to me, and Rob can speak to this too, like, so when you are in a film and you rap, TV show or anything like that, they will clap you out. They will be like, okay, and that's a picture rap on, Paul Scheer, and everyone on the crew just like, yeah, give you a nice little whatever.
A send-off. A nice little send-off.
Yeah, and you go, and depending on how long you were there. So this movie I only shot for 1 day. It's my first movie I ever shot. And they're like, all right, Paul, let's give it up for Paul Scheer. Now, I never experienced this. So I got like the entire crew is clapping, and I'm like, I must have done such a good job
You're
on
like,
this movie.
oh.
I remember like going home and telling people like, they were clapping for me. They were like, you did it. And I literally remember taking like a victory lap around the thing. They were like, yeah, like I was
High
in
five
it.
everyone
I felt
individually.
it so much. Yeah, I was like,
Oh my
and I'm now. I feel the gut embarrassment of that to this day. That
I thought you were going to go the other way. I thought you were going to say that like no one clapped for you.
Yeah,
They just,
I
like,
thought so
didn't
too.
care.
Silence. There's like a light boo in the
Like,
background.
who is that?
Yeah.
Who's that
I
guy?
never experienced anything like that. It was such a
Wow.
random thing, and they don't tell you that stuff until you're there.
Wow.
Yeah.
And we did just actually get a note too from our tech director. He was able to look it up. The movie actually came out in 2008, but it was filmed in 2003. So that makes total sense.
Yeah.
That's perfect sense.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Wow. That's crazy.
Nice. Yeah. Love that story.
Yeah.
Listen,
Now,
Rob, back to you.
Back to you, Rob.
There we go. There
yeah,
we go.
What's going on here?
Yeah, you guys really did your homework. These were dark days. These were dark days. This was early on in my career when things were not going well, when I was not able to afford these glamorous Palm Spring vacation rental houses that
And the
I
art.
now can afford. I was living in my mom's basement at the time, living on a diet of SpaghettiOs, staying in my underwear all day long, tops and bottoms.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, just fully depressed, watching TV. So far, both pictures of me, I think, have been me watching TV. But yeah, these are just dark days. This is actually like from a million years ago, from a Human Giant sketch that we did. And Paul, what was the gist of this sketch? I think the gist of this one was this the T-shirt one?
No, this is a cell phone. So basically,
Oh, yeah.
So I was going, like, I was buying a cell phone, and then Rob is like the serial killer, like a Saw-like serial killer, who was like torturing me with cell phones. I remember being tied to a table in my underwear, and you had
I would take customers home from the cell phone store, tie them up in my basement, and then put the phones on vibrate. I think that's what it was. And then I would dial the numbers and just like vibrate people to death or something. I'm not sure that we even aired it. We were lucky.
Definitely aired it. We definitely aired this.
Just for people that might be watching that don't know what this is, me and Paul and Aziz Ansari did a sketch show like in 2007, 2008 on MTV called Human Giant. And we shot, a million sketches, and we were really lucky that we didn't have to air. We shot way more than we needed. So sometimes in my mind, I have a hard time remembering what we used and what we didn't use. But this one,
because in a day that we're shooting this scene, we're probably shooting 3 other sketches on the same day. We were just kind of barreling through sketches. But yeah, this is like there was something like it was very much like a Saw type of parody. Where
this was also before I learned. Paul, do you remember this when you would get on set and someone would put food in front of you, and you would just think that, oh, I should just eat this when we roll. And, like really, one of the tricks when you're shooting is like, don't ever eat, because it's just a pain, because then you have to eat the whole time, like every take.
Doing it every take.
Oh,
yeah.
God.
And so
Rob and I did a movie called Hell Baby, and there's a scene in this movie where we're in New Orleans, and they're known for their po' boy sandwiches. And Rob and I went to this place called Domalice's, an amazing po' boy place, and that was in the film because it was so good. And it was a little so we had to eat a bunch of po' boys. Like, we love these po' boys, and we're really going to town on them. And so we all could order whatever we wanted, but knowing that we were going to have to eat a lot of it, because the whole scene was almost like a musical number to eating, and it was going to be all day doing it. And so I remember I go, all right, if I have to eat po' boys all day, I'm picking shrimp, because shrimp to me felt like the lightest. And I look over at Rob, and Rob goes, roast beef. I remember saying to Rob, wait, why roast beef, Rob? And he's like, yeah, I can do it. And so Rob was going to town on like 7, 8, 9 roast beef, and you ate the fuck out of those.
Oh my God.
Yeah, every single take, was like the joke was that we were so into these sandwiches, it was like having sex. Like, you're just like, and by the end of the day, you're shooting a wide shot, a close up on Paul, close up on me, over my shoulder to Paul, over Paul's shoulder to me. So you do it 15 different angles. Like, I ate probably 15 or 20 different real po' boy.
Oh my God.
It was
beef.
Now I can never go back to New Orleans just because of that memory. It's just too much for me.
How'd you feel afterwards? I'd love to know what the recovery was like from that.
I felt like garbage.
You puked in the street.
I did. Yeah. I wasn't going to say that, but yes, I did.
Trying to play it
That's
off.
what I wanted to hear.
I went outside and just puked my guts out. And like, again, rookie move. I didn't know then the trick of like, when you see like really good actors on TV, if you're watching like, experienced actors, you'll notice they just take a tiny little bite of like, a piece of corn or like a little nibble of something.
It's about like playing with the food, not eating it. But we were stuck because we had to eat in the scene. Like, that's a tricky thing too. And then they go, oh, we'll have a spit bucket for you. You can spit it into a spit bucket. It's like, but then you're like, that's also equally gross. It's rough. It's rough.
But it has, Rob puked up his roast beef sandwiches, but Paul, did you puke up your shrimp sandwiches?
No.
Were they okay?
They were delicious.
Come on, little baby shrimp and lettuce. It
nice
was
and
fine.
light.
I can handle that.
All right.
Yeah.
That's
Tasty,
good.
tasty
So you have a
choice.
high shrimp tolerance, essentially.
Yeah. Well, look, I knew look, you could eat a lot of shrimp. I think shrimp is going to go down easier in your belly more than anything else.
Very true. Very
Amazing.
True.
And I think we got one more left for you, actually.
Yeah.
Right over here. Aha.
Oh boy.
So-
I knew this was the one.
Oh boy.
This was the one. This was
Yeah.
this is me dressed as my mom. Is that right, Paul? This is
Yes.
Rob's mom. Yeah, this is another sketch for Human Giant called Rob's Mom, and the joke of this sketch is that I'm trying to dress like my mom to trick Paul into having sex with me. Is that right?
Well, but no. Well, the way it opens up is I tell everybody that I am in love, and I tell Rob,
yeah.
And I'm trying to keep it a secret that I'm in love with Rob's mom, and so we cut to Rob's mom, and we have this amazing relationship, very sexual relationship, very sensual. And then at the end of the sketch, after as like right as we kind of like have sex, Rob rips off the wig and goes, "I'm not Rob's mom. I'm Rob. I pranked you."
Yeah,
and I'm like,
it was all a big prank.
We just had sex, and then it was like, oh, and then it just got really awkward and weird, and then Aziz burst out of a closet singing like a prank song, and then that was just like this really bizarre, dark moment for all of us.
It doesn't sound great when we explain it, guys.
Honestly, it does.
Yeah, I mean, the picture's great.
The funny thing about this picture is that I think I posted this fairly recently on Instagram, and Paul's mom, I did not know, Paul's mom in real life follows me on Instagram.
Oh my God.
And commented on this photo, and she was like, "What is this? Like, what is going on?" Like, I don't think she'd ever seen this.
Oh, that is great.
Or knew anything about it. I think she just saw this.
My mom has no memory of anything. So yeah, so seeing this, I think she was like, "Wait, what is this?" Now I will say this, when we were shooting Human Giant, it was a show on MTV, and we had not that big of a budget. So we were picking up scenes. Like I said, we were shooting 3 scenes in a day, and that bathtub is the bathtub of our director and one of our writers, Jason Wolner. Like, there's 4 of us really. Me, Aziz, and Rob are on camera, but Wolner was our director and was behind the camera. He actually just directed Borat 2, Jason.
Wow.
So Jason was like, we need to get some extra scenes, and we, whenever you shoot in a place, whether it's a restaurant, a movie theater, you have to pay for it. But basically, Jason was like, why don't we just go to my parents' house and we can shoot a scene in their bathtub?
My parents' bathtub.
So like we, on a Sunday night, drove out to like New Jersey to go to Jason's house and shoot this in his parents' bathtub. And I remember like we were getting changed in his brother's room, and his brother was like playing Wii. They were like young kids. Rob's putting on a wig.
Oh my gosh.
And then Aziz got into the tub. Like, we're all in the tub in Jason's house, like on a Sunday night. His parents didn't know what was going on, but yeah, like that's how down and dirty our show was.
I'm so glad you shot it in an actual parent's bathtub.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, that makes it way better.
So much more
layers.
authentic,
Exactly.
Wow, that's amazing. Well, thank you guys for
thanks
humoring
for
us
along.
on those images. That was our big old screenshot interview.
Yeah.
Did we win? What did we win?
What did we win?
We were told that there was prize money, and
Yeah,
I've already
prize money.
promised. Paul, what charity are you playing for?
I'm playing for people who want to wear jean shorts.
Oh, great.
Wow.
That's a great charity.
It's a great charity.
Yeah, a lot of people
I hear
who feel
John
like they're not
Cena is
getting
also
on-
a spokesperson for that charity as well.
He is very much behind it. Yeah, a lot of people who wear jean shorts are getting ridiculed, and so this is about men who want to wear jean shorts, and that's so it's just trying to get the word out about it, that it is okay. Don't make fun of people in jean shorts. They're just short shorts.
Jorts are pants too,
I'm playing for people that need a pool, and this is people that it's going to be real hot this summer, and a lot of people don't have pools. And if you want a pool in your backyard, this charity will help you get a pool. So yeah, I'm excited to give all this money. I don't know how much money we just won, but yeah, I'm excited. I'm assuming Rolling Stone will just probably be a couple million, I guess.